So welcome to Unit 11. We're going to begin with something called reverse diamond problems. If I was your teacher, the very first day of this class, you did diamond problems forward. Today we're going to do them in reverse. So this is them forward. All right. So let's see who remembers. So this would be 6, and that would be 5. This would be 12, that would be 7. This would be 3, this would be 4. So what is the pattern there? Right, this is be 20, this would be 9. This would be 8, this would be 6. This would be 10, this would be 7. So we're multiplying to get the top and adding to get the bottom. So this would be positive 6, this would be negative 5. This would be positive 10, this would be negative 7, this would be positive 12, this would also be negative 7. This would be negative 8, this would be positive 2, this would be negative 10, this would be negative 3, this would be negative 15, this would be positive 2. All right, so what we're going to do is do them in reverse. So we need two numbers that multiply to make 12. Well, let's think about numbers that multiply to make 12. 1 and 12, right? And 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. But only one of those combinations adds up to 7, right? These two add up to 13. These two add up to 8. These two are the ones that add up to 7. And so working backwards, the two numbers, and the 3 and the 4 doesn't matter which one is where, the 3 and the 4 must have been the numbers that we started with to multiply to make 12 and add to make 7. And you'll find that there is one and only one answer, assuming that switching the positions doesn't matter, for each of these. Okay, so forward, right, we do 21 and 10. 42 and negative 13. Negative 40 and 3. Negative 36 and negative 5. Right, so that's forwards. Now we're going to go backwards. All right, so two numbers that multiply to make 12 add up to 7. That's the one I just showed you. 3 and 4. 4 and 3 is the same answer. All right, so what do these other ones have to be? Well, right, we know there's 1 and 12, there's 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. And we've used that one because that one added up to 7. Which one of those adds up to 8? Oh, 2 and 6 adds up to 8, so that must be that one. Which one adds up to 13? 1 and 12. Little hint, the bottom number is only bigger than the top number when one of the factors, you're factoring here, is a 1. That's the only way that happens. All right, so 16, right? So it could be 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and 4 and 4. So which one of those add up to 8? 4 and 4. Which one adds up to 10? 2 and 8. Which pair of factors add up to 16? 17? 1 and 16. That's how it works. This can be done other ways, but that's the way I like to do it. You look at the factors of the top number, and of the factors of that numbers, which combination adds up to the bottom number you need. All right, so 20, right, has 1 and 20. You don't have to write these out. I'm just showing you. 2 and 10, 4 and 5. Which one adds up to 9? 4 and 5. 4, now first of all, once you see the bottom number is bigger, one of these is a 1. So this must be 1 times 4, right? And 18 has 1 and 18, 2 and 9, and 3 and 6. The one of those that add up to 9 are 3 and 6. Now, with negative numbers, it's a little different. So we multiplied and got a positive. So that means that both numbers have to be positive or both numbers have to be negative. But since we got a negative on the bottom, we now know that both of these numbers are negative. Okay? Because that's the only way you get a positive number up top and a negative number on the bottom. So if both of those are negative, we're looking for things like 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So which one of those will add up to -6, -2, and -4. I didn't write the negatives in the factors because you don't really need to, but that's what it has to be. All right, so let's look at these. I need two numbers that multiply to make positive 12 and add up to -7. All right, 12's got 1 and 12, and 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Oh, it's -3 and -4. They add up to -7. And again, the absolute value of -5 is 5, which is bigger than 4. One of these is a 1, or one of these is a -1. The other one is a -4, right? Since the absolute value of -5 is bigger than the absolute value of 4, one of those had to be -1. Okay, so let's do more of those. Again, positive number on top, negative number on the bottom. So this one, again, -6 bigger than the absolute value of that, bigger than that. So -1 and -5. Ooh, look at this one. I've done a whole bunch of these. -1 and -6. This one's different. All right, how do you make 10? Right, it's either 1 and 10 or 2 and 5. So this is -2, -5. Okay. All right, now we have a negative number on the top, and that means one of these numbers is negative and one is positive. Okay, and these are the toughest ones. So, right, it's still got to be some version of 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. But when one of these is negative and one is positive, they have to add up to +1, right? Well, the only combination that will do that is -3 and +4, right? -3 plus +4 is 1. -3 times +4 is -12, right? So that was the one. There's no other way to turn these factors of 12 into a +1. Okay, let's try these. All right, so 6, right? It's a negative up there, so one's negative and one's positive, right? And we got a positive number down there. So you know what that means? It means that we have more of the positives than the negatives. So it's -2 and +3. All right, and then here we've got -2 and +4. -2 times 4 is -8. -2 plus 4, +2. Okay, now this one's different. Now we have a negative on the top, which still means we have one of each. But now we have more of the negatives, right? So now -4 and +2. -4 and +2 add up to -2. -4 times 2 is -8. So again, we have a negative on the top. That means one of them is negative. It doesn't matter which side you put it on. And here we've got to get -3. So we have 1 and 10, 2 and 5. Which combination will make -3? If you have -5 and +2. Here 15, it's 1 and 15 or 3 and 5. Which one I can use to make -2? -5 and +3. So when you have this, you have more of the negatives. Up here, you have more of the positives. But you got to have one of each if you have a negative number up top. All right, so let's practice all those. So 10. All right, so the factors of 16, one of them are 2 and 8. Now here, we've got to do, right, it's 1 and 16, 1 and 16, 2 and 8, and 4 and 4. -4 times -4. Yes. And again, one of these must be a negative. So let's say this is negative. I think it's, oh, we have a negative down there. So it's going to be -2. No, we got to multiply to make 1. No. We're multiplying to make -1. I'm messing up. Right? What is it? You should have figured it out while I'm messing with my pen here. This is -1 and -1. -1 times -1. The factors of 1 are 1 and 1. That's it. So it's -1 times -1, and negative is +1. -1 plus -1, -2. Here we have 5 and -3, right? 5 times -3, -15. 5 plus -3, +2. Ooh, 0. So that means that they have to be opposites, right? The only way to get 0 there is you're adding opposites. What are the opposites here? 5 and -5. Yes. Here we've got 4. All right, how about -6, +2? If you add -6 and +2, you get -4. If you multiply them, you get -12. So -24, right? 24 has a ton of factors, by the way. 1 and 24, right? 2 and 12, 3 and 8, 4 and 6. Which one of those is 5 apart? Ah, this one. So it's -3, +8. Good luck with your homework.